Now, if you're creating your own contract, why would you put yourself in that position as your best foot forward? A lot of the time, managed service providers and IT product suppliers, they do have a contract. But the issue is it's a cobbled-together contract or an online template or something that they've got a little bit from A and a little bit from B, and they've put it all together in a mishmash situation, and then they've got a contract. The issue is a lot of the time they don't actually understand what they've put in their own contract. So one issue is that the description of the products and the services will be quite general or generic, or even throw off to some sort of other document that they don't actually prepare. And therefore, the customer and even the supplier themselves are not clear on what they are getting and when they are getting it, what's included, what is excluded. So, similar to your situation, when you go to put your invoice in, there's an argument about what you should have got. So the customer believes they were getting A, B, C. Supplier thought it was D, E, F. And then there's an argument about getting paid. And at the end of the day, often the supplier will end up out of pocket because they don't want to ruin the relationship. They don't want to ruin their reputation. But they've got a bad taste in their mouth because they've walked away and they haven't, they believed what they scoped was clear and they should be paid for that. Having a clear set of rules from the start would resolve some of those issues early, because you'd have the paper, you'd have the description in the contract to pull out when everyone is arguing. The other issue I see, and this has happened actually in the last 2 or 3 contracts I reviewed. A lot of the time what happens is a supplier will come to me and say, can you review this contract? I've been using it for years, but I've just not had a lawyer go through it with me. Right. So they're actually shocked at the amount of questions I will ask them because they didn't even realise that this information was in their contract. And what I find is they've actually got terms and conditions because they've borrowed them from different places. Correct. They're actually really swayed in the customer's favour. But in this case, they've gone so far unfavourable to themselves that basically they're accepting all the risk, all the liability, all the responsibility, and the customer's accepting nothing. Now, if you're creating your own contract, why would you put yourself in that position as your best foot forward? So it's definitely worthwhile, if you're using these type of contracts, taking the time now, especially if your business is scaling, you're taking on bigger jobs, you're taking on more risk, to get a lawyer to look through what you've got and update that to make it fit your business.